In the 1990 movie Home Alone, Kevin goes to the grocery store to pick up a few things that he needs, and he spends $19.83. Well, today in 2024, those same groceries, same brands and everything, would now cost you $56.84. Who else wants to go back to the 90s? Okay, so I don't really want to go back to the 90s, but I got the idea for today's video when my mom passed on this little book to me. This is from 1991, and it's called The $30 a Week Grocery Budget. I just found this really fascinating to look through, a little glimpse into what grocery prices were like back in the early 90s. This would have been published when I was only 1 year old. So I thought it would just be fun today to do some grocery price comparisons and see how things have changed since the early 90s. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm also going to share a few frugal grocery shopping tips that I learned from this book as well. Now, I should probably start off by saying that I don't think most families in the early 90s probably spent as little as $30 a week on groceries. This is a family, I believe, of 6. So that was quite a low budget. I know my mom said she spent, I remember her telling me she spent around $40 a week when they got married, and they got married at the end of the 80s. They got married in 87, I believe. So she spent around $40 just for her and my dad, from what she remembers. So $30 a week at the beginning of the 90s would have been pretty frugal, but that's why I just find this fascinating. So I thought I would go ahead and read you. This was a week of groceries where this lady spent $29.56 total. So she went to 3 different grocery stores to get these deals. The first grocery store, she got 5 loaves of bread, 8 ounces of cheese, a gallon of milk, a 20-quart box of powdered milk, and 5 pounds of rice. And she got all that for the whopping total of $15.70. Grocery number 2, she just spent $8.47 for an 18 ounce of peanut butter, 1 dozen large eggs, a gallon of milk, 3 pounds of margarine, of course a lot of people use margarine then, and a large box of oatmeal. And then grocery store number 3, she only spent $1.99, okay, for 1 pound of deli ham. That was $1.99. And then I missed this, she also went to a butcher shop where she spent $5.36 on 15 pounds of chicken thighs and 2.5 dozen small eggs. So those are quite amazing prices. So her total for all of that was $29.56 for the week. So I added all those things up just at Walmart. We don't have 18 ounces of peanut butter anymore. We have 16 ounces, at least at Walmart. So I just did the 16 ounce, but I put everything in, and my total now, instead of being $29.56, my total was $82.82. So we've had quite a jump in price there. But I thought it was quite interesting to compare. One thing that I thought was really interesting, it seems like powdered milk has really gone up. Maybe people used it more then and so it was cheaper, I'm not really sure, but that one grocery trip where she got all of the 5 loaves of bread, the cheese, a gallon of milk, 5 pounds of rice, she got all of that for $15.70. And now at our Walmart, it's 20 bucks just for that bag of dry milk. Which, tell me, do you guys buy dry milk? Do you use it for stuff? I know, like when I did my stockpile video, a lot of people mentioned that that is a good thing to stockpile, you know, so if you don't have refrigeration, if you have a power outage or whatever, you can use powdered milk. But I have not added it to my stockpile yet, and that is one of the reasons, because it's pretty expensive, although I guess if you think about how much it's gonna make, it's a decent price. But yeah, clearly it was much cheaper in the 90s, so I thought that was interesting. Okay, so some other prices that I thought were interesting. In the book, she says that she would try to get chicken when it was less than 59 cents a pound. Now, I don't know if this is talking about, you know, a whole chicken, or if it's talking about chicken breasts or what, because chicken breasts nowadays, I mean, $1.99 would be a deal for around here. That would be a really good price. But 59 cents a pound, that is not much. And then she would try to get thighs for 28 cents a pound. I'm assuming that's where she got them at this butcher shop, and she got 15 pounds for so cheap. That's probably when she was getting them for 28 cents a pound. So that's an amazing deal. I wish we could still get deals like that. Ground beef, she would try to stock up when it was less than $1 a pound. What prices are you guys seeing for ground beef? I know when I can get ground beef for $2.99 a pound, that's like a really great deal. And that's just like for the 80/20, and it's not grass-fed or anything. It's just the basic store ground beef. She would get potatoes when they were $1 for 10 pounds. Vegetables would be like $3 for $1 canned, which that's not a ton different. I think like at Aldi, you can get at least some vegetables for like 50 cents a can, I think. I don't really do canned vegetables. We do a lot of frozen vegetables or fresh, and I don't really do canned. My kids just aren't used to it since I haven't done it. So yeah, so I'm not totally up on my canned vegetable prices, but I don't think that's like way less like some of these other things. Eggs, 78 cents a dozen. Jam, she would pay 88 cents for a quart, which I feel like that when I get jam, it's usually a smaller amount. It's not even a quart, obviously for a higher price. But it's just interesting. And then she says a London broil. A London broil she would get when it was $1.69 a pound or less. Can you guys tell me what is a London broil? I do not even know what that is. I assume it's like a cut of beef, which $1.69 a pound would be a great price for a cut of beef, but I don't really know, or if that's like just how you prepare it and it's just called a London broil. I don't know. Okay, one more shopping trip here just for fun. She spent a total of $30.12 on this shopping trip. She bought 2 pounds of spaghetti, a pound of ziti, 3.5 pounds of ground beef, 3 pounds of bananas, 6 pounds of margarine, 4-ounce jar of yeast, a gallon of milk, 12 ounces of shredded mozzarella, 5 pounds of carrots, a 28-ounce jar of spaghetti sauce, 2 rolls of toilet paper, which I thought that was funny, just 2 rolls, 22 ounces of sliced cheese, 3 cans of vegetables, a head of lettuce, 18 ounces of peanut butter, a 32-ounce jar of jam, 1 loaf of bread, and 2 13-ounce containers of coffee. All of that for the low price of $30.12. Okay, now we're gonna talk about some spending tips that we can learn from the 90s and from the lady who wrote this book. I keep saying the lady, her name is Donna McKenna. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is. I would be interested in finding out, like if she's still writing about frugal grocery budgeting or what. I've never heard of her besides this book, but anyways, it's Donna McKenna. So one of her big tips for frugal grocery shopping is that she would take that $30 budget that she had every week, and half of it she would use on things that she had to buy every week. So yeah, just those basic groceries that you have to buy every single week. She'd use about $15 on that. Then on the rest, the other 15, she would spend about 2/3 of that on longer lasting items like her powdered milk, flour, potatoes, things you don't have to buy every single week, things that are gonna last a little longer. And then the other third of that, the $5 or so left, she would spend on stocking up on things. So I love that even though this was a very frugal budget, even back in the early 90s, she still would focus on buying at least a few things to stock up on every week when they were at those low prices. Now, another thing she's really big on in this book is avoiding convenience foods because you're almost always gonna pay more. I thought this was funny. She says, cold cereal is one such food. How much cold cereal you buy depends on how much money you want to waste. And that hurt a little bit because I like the cold cereal. It's so easy. I like the convenience of it. And you can get some pretty good deals on cold cereal if you are paying attention. But yeah, if you're paying full price for cold cereal, you are wasting money. I mean, some of the prices for cereal is ridiculous, like $6 for this little box of cereal. But anyways, I thought that that was pretty funny. She comes out pretty strong against it in here, but it is smart and it is a good tip. If you want to be spending more frugally, you really need to avoid a lot of those convenience foods because they are going to charge you more for the convenience of them. And then finally, one thing that she talks about a lot in this book is shopping at multiple stores. Now, she does say, if you're gonna have to go way out of your way, don't do it because you're gonna be what you would have saved on the groceries, you're gonna be paying in gas money. So it doesn't really make sense. But if it's not way out of your way, take a little extra time and stop at a couple stores if you know, for instance, that you can get meat way cheaper at Kroger with the current sale or whatever. Make time to go to a couple stores if you can. That way you can take advantage of the sales, the coupons and whatnot, and you will save more money that way. Okay, I would love to hear from you. If you were grocery shopping back in the 90s, tell me, are these prices similar to what you were paying? I mean, I know that's kind of like a long ways to think back, but I would love to hear, like, what did you spend every week? Like, is $30 way less than normal, or is it similar? I'm thinking that probably most people spent more like $50 a week. I don't know. That's just my guess because I wasn't grocery shopping back then. But let me know if you were. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you may want to check out this other video next where I did some price comparisons, but to a much more recent year, 2019. So just 5 years ago, and we looked at a grocery haul from back in 2019 and then a recent one from this year and compared how the prices have changed just in the last 5 years. Okay guys, thanks so much for being here today. I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye.